Alright, so yeah, you're gonna fucking hate me. I thought I was streaming, and I was not. So, that last hour and a half of fucking discussion of what we were just talking about, non-existent. Alrighty.
Well, if you remember the questions, I'm willing to go again. Game talk number two.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. No, I've deleted the first one because it was only like 30 seconds, and then I quit fucking Last of Us, so
Oh,
I'm
really?
pretty sure it fucking quit my stream. Alrighty, so start off with fucking inventory. Not just player inventory, but like how you want inventory in general to work. Through whether it be
Okay.
building inventory, object inventory, your person inventory, or vehicle inventory.
So, I would say, let's start with vehicle inventory first. You got the trunk, and you open up the trunk, and instead of like a thing popping up on your screen, and there's like little squares that you transfer things from your backpack into the trunk, whatever, and then just sits in that little square and you don't see it in your trunk, you would actually pull it out of your backpack and place it in a spot in your trunk, and you'd stack things there realistically. And so like pretend I don't know, you're putting groceries in your car. It'd be the exact same thing except obviously with the in-game items. And so you can only fit what actually fits in the trunk. You can't just like throw, I don't know, an engine in the back of your car or something if you're you do carry around an engine. That wouldn't work. And it'd be kind of the same for the backpack. You know, if you're carrying around a backpack on your back, you can only fit in there what actually fits in there. Like throwing cans of beans in there, you can only stack so many cans of beans in there. You'll see that inventory squares like in Minecraft or something. And you know, if all the spaces are taken up, your trunk's full. It basically anything you can fit into your trunk realistically, like say a rocket launcher, you might have to lean up against the side or something, and if it's long, and you'd have to like figure out how to put it in there, like how to explain that. Basically, you'd have to organize it so it fits.
Alright.
And I guess for building inventory, like what do you mean for crafting or?
Uh, Building inventory along the lines of what will the spawn rates and like what can you fit in a building like storage wise, like if you wanted to say bring, are you planning on being able to move furniture in the game, or will that be static, stationary, or will I be able
Nothing will be
to?
static.
Nothing will be static.
Absolutely nothing. Not even the house. Like that game, Tom Clancy, the one where they're fucking.
The new one.
No, like the one with the terrorists and the cops,
The new one.
No, yeah, the new one that was
Siege.
released. I thought you were talking about. Yeah,
The
Siege,
Division.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, so Siege.
Basically, you know how you shoot through walls and you blow walls out.
Yeah.
It'd be that realistic of destruction, and like you could pick up a house and put it on a semi and drive away with the house if you wanted to, and if you were actually that skilled enough, is what I'm going for. Like everything will be realistic physics.
So, if you were to manage a flatbed, assuming you can find one, because I would imagine that not a lot of those will be running in the apocalypse, and
yes.
assuming you can manage to find a working crane, you could put like maybe a small trailer on the back of the flatbed.
Yeah, it'd be just like that movie or that TV show, House Movers, I think it's called, or something like that.
Never watched it.
You'd have to do every single step that you actually have to do in real life in order to move that house, but it's possible. And if you like fuck up and you don't secure the house enough, or some of the beam breaks or something, then the house could collapse.
So don't fuck up the foundation, is what you're saying.
Yes. And so, like, you'd be able to, take a tow truck and attach it to a door or something and drive away in the tow truck and rip the door off its hinges.
Alright. Or the classic, just smash the shit out of it with another vehicle.
Yes, like, you'd be able to crash a car into a living room or something like that. But see, if it's like a big concrete wall or something, then it's obviously gonna be a different effect.
Yeah. So speed and mass transfers to destruction, is what you're saying.
Yes.
All right. So as far as we've covered now, player with the backpacks. What about clothing space? Will you be able to put, say, like a magazine in your pocket?
Yes.
Yep.
See, I haven't really figured out how that's gonna work. See, like the backpack, whatever, you just unzip it and your hand, you can like dig your hand in there and grab things out and put it back in.
Mm-hmm.
See, your pocket, I feel like you need to like pick up something and say you pick up a magazine or something, or I guess I don't know, a small clip or something will fit in your pocket, and then you push the required key to put it in your pocket, or however the hell that's gonna work, and it'll like reach his hand in there and try putting it in his pocket, and if it's like I don't know, a bat or something, the end in his pocket, and then it's gonna like fall over and fall out, things like that. So you basically try fitting whatever you want in your pocket, but if it won't fit, then it won't fit, you know? It'll just like fall out or something.
All right. This, so we've covered, what have we covered? Inventory, stationary objects, weather. Do you have any plans? What plans do you have for weather?
You know, the dream would be to keep it as the weather that's out in the actual world. Like, say, it's not snowing right now where I am at, so it wouldn't be snowing at that place here. Like, you'd basically just use the weather channel or something to do the weather, which I don't think that's that hard to achieve. But I basically want the weather to be realistic to the day of the year. Like if it's in summer or whatever, there won't be snow in Alberta, most likely. Alberta's kind of weird like that, but
Fucking hopefully.
and then of course in the winter there will be snow on the ground, and the weather will be snow and not raining, depending on the temperature, because there'll be actual temperatures, and like even the ocean will have a temperature. So if you decide to, you know, take a dip in the ocean in, I don't know, winter or something, you could get hypothermia and like freeze. And if you do it in the summer or whatever, then you know you'd be fine.
All right.
And it'll actually be like a temperature system, so that you could like measure the ocean with a thermometer or something. It'll tell you the actual temperature of the ocean.
All right. So, seeing as you're speaking of temperatures, what about like warmth in houses? How will that work?
Well, see, the way that'll work is, I guess, kind of based on real life, whatever, is when it's freezing outside or whatever, and it's like windy, and the wind makes it even colder. But basically, you get the temperature without wind, and that's what it would be in the average house. And so, like, say, I don't know, it's the middle of the winter here, and we found a house but it has no power, and it's no heater, nothing in it because there's no power, and like, when you go in the house, it'd be, I don't know how cold it is outside, let's say negative 20 degrees. It'd be negative 20 inside the house, and then you can, like, close up the doors, and you can run a generator and a heater, and you can actually warm up the inside of the house.
Hopefully.
And that'd be able to keep you warm. But you know, if you have like a broken window or something, then that's not going to be that effective, and you're going to lose a lot of heat. So you'd be able to, like, I don't know, cover up the windows with plywood, stuff like that, in order to keep the heat.
Alrighty. So
And,
the more you do to a specific building, the more heat you'll keep in the house.
yes, I would say like in insulation, I guess the best
Yep.
insulation in the house, like using plywood for the windows won't be as effective as using actual insulation and
Alrighty.
things like that.
And as far as player interaction, how do you want to go about that?
Well, I feel like way this is gonna be set up, people are gonna be more friendly. Like I fucking hate GTA the way the players are. You know, you get shot on sight. There is no going up to someone and hey, what's up? You know, you get killed.
Yeah.
And the way I want to make this game is it's gonna be so hard to, I guess, survive and when you die, whatever, you start from new and you start in, I wouldn't say a new part of the world, but I guess somewhere near your location, but kind of away from where you died, so that it's hard to get your stuff back.
Alright.
And I guess I wanted so it's people are afraid to die, they don't want to die. And so, you know, if they see another player or something, they'll be scared to attack them because they might die themselves and they lose all their stuff and have to start new. And so, I feel like for instance, you're hiding in a warehouse and someone walks by the door, and you're like, oh, I could shoot him, I can jump right out and shoot him, but you don't know if he has a buddy or something, and so, you know, your mind's kind of, do I not, and then you decide not to, because you're afraid of losing your stuff.
Alright.
I want it to be kind of like that, and then say if you come and hit their front to someone, whatever, you're like pointing your guns or whatever, and that maybe they can come to an agreement by, you know, chatting to each other.
Alright.
And if one's like, yeah, trigger happy, whatever, they're able to kill the other player.
So, are we, I guess, seeing as we're both working on the game, are we planning on doing anything to kind of deter people from PvP? Other than the fact that of just being scared of losing your things in case you lose?
I feel like that would be enough for most people, but I feel like, you know, some people are like, I don't know, they're probably going to be like really good at this game, and you know, maybe they died a couple times, but you know, they feel very confident that they're just going to be killing everyone on sight. And so I feel like if you are, I don't really want to put like a punishment system. I feel like that is pretty gay, but I would like to work out on how to stop that, I guess.
Alright. So I know once upon a time you and I talked about kind of like an insanity thing, where if you shoot too many people too often, something happens?
Well, I would say, like, there's kind of an idea, but it definitely needs to be thought way out, but say I just started, I don't know, killing a bunch of people, and the character, he'll get, I don't know what to call it, basically, it haunts him, you know, it haunts him bad enough that, like, when he, like, games or something, his hand shakes or something, and, you know, like, he starts to go, I don't know, like, say, I don't know, your son got shot, and, I don't know how to put that. That's like, it's way above my kind of education.
Education? Alright, so you said something about son getting shot. Are we putting backstories in it?
For what, sorry?
Are we going to be putting backstories to, like, your specific character, or are we going to leave that completely up to roleplay?
I feel like I want to keep it up to roleplay. Like, I think with the respawn or something, or when you first create your character, you'd be able to make your backstory or pick a random one, like randomly generate one. Like, say you get picked that, like, say if you were living in Kid Scotty, whatever, you know, your job wouldn't be a fucking
rocket scientist.
Yeah, well, that could possibly be, but you know, I'm talking about like being on a boat, you know, fishing, whatever those are fucking called.
A fisherman?
Yeah, fisherman, I guess. That
Wow.
could be your job and fish in the ocean and live in Kid Scotty, you know. So unless
Fair enough.
that was like previous history, that can't be your job. So your job would have to be like in the oil field or something like that, industrial or something, you know.
Alright, yeah.
So I guess it'd be based on where you are. and if you can't decide whatever, then you just hit the random button, and it'll give you something, and basically you role play with it. You read up on it, and okay, I could go with that, or no, I don't like that. So you change a part of it, and to make it easier to remember or something. It's not really. It's not really like you have to use that information.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we could make it affect the character. Like if you're, I don't know, WWE wrestler or whatever, you're gonna have big muscles, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess that'd be kind of cool to use that to affect the characters.
Oh yeah, no,
But
that would definitely
I don't
cool.
I don't feel like you have to use that information in the game. Like, say you could like create your own story if you wanted, and just throw some bullshit stuff out there. And
To
like, go up to someone
Peter
and
Tim,
job.
you were a fucking police officer, but Betsy Sue, you were a fucking masked serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you basically you don't have to follow what you chose as your backstory or anything like that. It is, I'd say, recommended, or I guess put there to help
Give you
people
something
that
to
aren't
go
good
off
at
of?
roleplay, and yes, give you something to go off of. Because like I'm pretty bad with backstories. I'm good at rooming up with that backstory. It's kind of hard, but if you're already given that information to act out, then it's not that hard.
No. So what if, like, even in the main menu, it was just an option for RP, I can do this myself, or please give me some help, assign me a past story.
I guess that'd be a very smart idea. Yeah, that's kind of why I set the option to basically you just enter in all your information that you want,
Yeah.
and like if people like keep changing, it's like I don't know, you could be a cop or something. Like your backstory could be a cop, and then you're out there surviving, and you're with someone, and lots of people I guess wouldn't like to tell that person they're a cop, so they'll make up another story like I'm a trucker or something to hopefully stay living or something if they're afraid to tell their backstory. And
Well,
so,
I would imagine, like, look at Rick Grimes, you immediately first person, like, every time he fucking first sees someone, I was a sheriff. Coral, stay back. Fucking, why would someone not want to be a cop?
well, I didn't really mean to use that one, but I'm just like an example, like say,
No, I'm not meaning like, hey, what's wrong with being a cop here? I'm saying, give me an example of which being a different profession could help you survive.
I would say like if I don't know if you were a prisoner or something for you've been in prison for rape or something, and you're with a family with children or something like that. That's not something you're gonna want to tell them, you know.
Does this mean we're having kids in the game?
That is an idea.
I mean, obviously
But,
that's going to red flag for some people. This is inappropriate. This is bullshit.
Yes.
What are we looking at for ages then?
I feel like we should. That's a really tough one.
That is a tough one. And we'll also have to come up with a reason why there are no people younger.
Because I don't want this game, not necessarily just to adults, but I don't really want it limited. You know, like
Yeah.
if you find a woman or whatever, and you're like interrogating her to find out where this person is that she was with, she won't listen or something, and you know you want to take off her clothes or something and start whipping her.
Well,
Get all
now it
kinky
just
and
sounds
shit.
like BDSM. Or not BDSM. Well, I mean, kind of, but more like, you know, kinky ass shit. Bondage, yeah.
No, but I don't really want it limited. Obviously, you know, I feel like there should be a 13 and under, or I guess 13 and over setting. So if you're under 13, I believe the law is that, you know, you can only see certain things, like say, adults, whenever I'm not saying this is gonna be in the game because I don't feel like it should be in the game. But you rip off someone's clothes or something, and you know they're buck naked, and they see them buck naked. Well, the person that's under 13, they would not be able to see that. They'd see like she's still wearing a bra and panties or something like that. Censored pretty much.
All right.
And,
So what about those? I mean, obviously they're out there. People that would want nudity. Would you have to, like, could you sign up for a thing on the website?
well, I feel like
Or
the
do
way
you?
we should do that is because we're gonna have moderators for the game for sure, a lot of moderators, and I feel like if you're gonna be over the age of, like, if you set your age over 12, which 13 and up, I believe is the law that you're allowed to show these things to those ages, then I feel like it should be something that you know, I am allowed to see this in my country or whatever. Then it will give you a fucking
Age
thing
restriction?
to go to in order to attach your government ID or something so they can prove it, or do we just leave it up to, you know, trusted players? And
Well, that's what most of the, like, look at, not to throw people under the fucking bus here, but Rockstar and Activision, all those people serve to a general audience of 18 up, but realistically everyone's like fucking 8.
yes, and see, that's basically all we need to do in order to stay illegal is have that option if you're under 18, or under the age, so you have to be, I believe Canada is under 13, and basically if you're over the age to see these things and swear, stuff like that, and then, you know, we can't stop them, and it's not our fault that they didn't select that. That's totally their doing.
Well, that could also be an option in the menu, could it not? Vulgar language through game, of course. There's nothing we can do about voice chat.
Actually, we
Intense.
can, but
Well, obviously we can. We can basically do anything within, you know, parameters of etc. etc.
yes.
But I mean, it could be a toggleable option between profanity, intense gore. Could it not?
I think that might, well, I feel like this is going to be a lot of work in order to, you know, censor all these things, or I guess we might be able to do it when we create a character or something. Then it would we would have set up a censored version and an uncensored version,
Yep.
and I guess that could work. And things like posters or something, where, I don't know, nude models in some guy's basement or something. And,
Well, okay,
to
yeah,
those
fair
that
enough.
aren't over the age, they would, I don't know, see Star Wars or some shit.
Shout out to Star Wars.
We advertise you, man.
Fuck. Please notice us. Alright.
So basically, if obviously we'd have people, and like the people that are doing the 3D art and people that are doing 2D art, the people that are doing 3D art, they would be in, I guess, are mandatory that they set up a censored version and an uncensored version, as well as 2D artists. Like, say if you're creating a poster of, I don't know, iRobot or something, then I don't know what I can add. But if you're making like a poster of iRobot, there's no need to add a censored version. But if you're creating like nude models or something, then create a censored
Well, one, you're a
version.
pervert. Two, create a censored version.
Well, you know, there's
Well, there's nudity. That's reality.
yeah, no shit, but I believe it's illegal for us to show that to people that are under 13, so
Well, I mean, unless
by law,
they
we have
agree
have
to
that.
legal terms and conditions of which can be applied through the website, which it could be where you can get a game activation code.
Or we could just have it so we don't have any of that sensory shit, and basically when you sign up to play this or whatever, basically if you're under this age or whatever, ask your parents or don't play it, pretty much. Like,
Basically.
no one will actually listen to that, but you know,
No,
It's basically
Alex,
something
our
so we can
assumption
be
has to
legal.
be everyone listens to that.
Yes,
Everyone goes
yes,
through and
everyone listens
reads
to
and
it.
accepts to the terms and conditions of which
Everyone does.
everyone does.
Yes. uh, no, it's just basically being legal is my
Going to
main
be our
concern.
biggest issue.
Is it's pretty much with all games that you create. It's you have to work with the law and whether or not the law is stupid or
Like, we couldn't legally advertise Star Wars, as sad as that may make you, due to...
but unless we have permission and
My
you
question
know,
is, how the fuck do you go through and get permissions for that?
you contact. I'm not sure. I've never actually done this before, but you contact the studio or whatever. They will actually have uh, phone numbers to contact in order to get information about that. And I guess that's where you would start. But see,
Alrighty.
if our game gets big enough or whatever, then we might actually have people calling us and like, hey, would you like to advertise for us or whatever? And then we can put in like, I don't know, say Star Wars. They called us up and like, here's some pictures that we want you to advertise in the game or whatever. And they pay us or whatever, and we basically we set up these posters, say at theaters, stuff like that, and then we put coming to theaters, and then like the date or whatever, shit like that for them.
Just uses real time frames and everything?
Yes.
Alright.
And see, that's one way that we can earn a lot of money is through advertisement, but like in-game advertisements.
Alright, there goes Spiker. Just a moment. Jump in my party. Spiker got offline apparently, so I'm going to assume his internet shat itself. And I will start up the stream again once he hops online here.